Welcome to Watch of the Week here on Caseback. This is a series of brief reviews and previews of recently introduced timepieces. It's not a commercial, so you will hear my unfiltered reaction, my unfiltered opinion, and our guest in this week is... During an art show, I've heard once a gentleman say, "I'm always excited when I see something I don't understand." Important motto, if you ask me, because we all tend to be just annoyed when we see something beyond our horizon. But consider the chance. If you see something you don't understand, then you made a step outside your comfort zone. You could now go back. Or you could decide to learn something new. You could make a new decision. You could give your entire life a new spin. I had to memorize this because my first word after seeing the Urwerk, a blue planet, was what? No idea how this works. I really had to study the press material and there are still open questions. But first let's go over the basics. A watch which is supposed to display time and our position in the solar system, nothing less. Case diameter is 41 mm, length is 49.7, thickness 14 mm. Case material is blue PVD coated steel titanium for the Caseback. The crystal is a sapphire. It's powered by the UR-100V movement automatic with 39 jewels and a frequency of 28,800. Power reserve is 48 hours. And it's waterproof up to 30 meters. And the price is around the 50k mark. This, together with a limitation of 25 pieces, tells us basically nobody will own this watch when it's available, soon as they say. But this doesn't change the fact that I really want to know how it works. So let's break it down. How to read the time? Very simple. The first scale at the bottom shows the minutes. The small rotating disc on top of the hand shows the hours. 3 hands in total, each of them is responsible for 4 hours. So there's really some movement to see. And the hands also indicate now the Earth rotation around itself. This takes 24 hours. In 20 minutes it travels 555.55 kilometers. And there you can see them. On the other side of the dial, on the right side, you see the information 35,742 kilometers. Revolution. This stands for the distance our Earth travels around the Sun in, again, 20 minutes. So far, so good. But now I have 2 questions. The Swiss manufacturer Urwerk writes, after minute pointers on the hour satellites disappear, they pass between subsidiary dials to display astronomical indications, distance traveled on Earth and distance traveled by Earth. Here you see the movement, extremely complex, and there you see the 3 hands. But I think they really cannot work at the same time, those hands here. So apparently it's not possible to read time and those distances at the same moment. Bit brutal, isn't it? You need the time with urgency one day, but all you can see at that moment is planet rotation. Well, and it's unclear why those subdials display 20-minute distances. It would be more convincing when the scale on the left showed an entire Earth rotation around the equator and the dial on the right an entire rotation of our planet around the Sun. But those are very large distances and time spans. As we know, Earth needs an entire year around the Sun. Technically impossible to display, at least for a wristwatch. So I could imagine that they started with the concept of a watch which really shows the position of the planet Earth. Then they've realized it's impossible. But let's carry on. Let's find a compromise. Do we have space on the dial to display half a distance? Half a rotation? No? No. A quarter? No. 1 hour? No. 20 minutes at least? Yes. So very impressive idea, but this visible compromise, this 20 minutes, is a bit of a spoiler, at least for me. Very impressive is also the movement. Let's have another look here. The drilled rotor is regulated by a planetary flat turbine. They call it windfänger. And the turbine minimizes here shocks to the rotor bearing. So overall a very inspiring piece. I love the idea to include planet rotations in a timekeeping device. Because the way of the planets define our time. Often we forget this, and this watch here is a nice reminder with some flaws. And if you find this watch interesting, then check out the website of Urwerk Watches. It's a universe of new ideas in advanced watchmaking. The name, by the way, is German and means watch movement. But it's written here without an H, which gives the word Ur, another meaning, hard to translate, but it's more like ancient. And that's what they do. They combine the oldest fundamentals of our universe with the most modern watchmaking you can find. I will never wear this watch, but I'm impressed. Okay, that's all for now. See you next Monday to Watch of the Week here on Caseback.